Hello guys, Chadook here and welcome to CC. We're introducing today Evolute monsters. Normally this should have been made long time ago, but stuff happened and we came to conclude to make this video the time we upload it soon. And of course we will have to explain it in link format or master rules for, so it will be two parts of the same video. Will have something like without the link master and the link master. Additionally, it's been a while since I made this mechanic and it's kind of now stable and works entirely fine on Waiju property. I will link the mechanic and the cards associated with it, though the cards are not in QC yet, so you can't play them on Terra server. You can only play them on Moon server. You can just experiment the cards yourself. Do whatever you want. You can even delete them from YGO Pro if you don't like them. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to it. An Evolute monster is a type of monster that is red colored and stored in your extra deck, that shares a bit similar shenanigans of Synchro monster. However, unlike Synchro monster, they usually need two monsters with a level or rank whose attribute and type are identical to the Evolute monster you're attempting to summon from your extra deck. And you don't need a tuner, so that pretty much it. So you basically need a level 4 plant or rank 4 earth, or the other way around, depending on the material listed on an Evolute monster you have in your extra deck. So they need to be faced up to be sent to the graveyard, and since we're using the link format, we will Evolute summon them in the extra monster zone from your extra deck in any position you like. And here we are. So in case of you controlling a link master, the case is different. Unless you have an empty spot of unless you have an empty spot from your extra monster zone, your link monster will point to a main monster zone where we can Evolute summon there. For example, we have Firewall Dragon pointing down, as you can see, the arrow pointing down, and we will send to set materials to the graveyards as usual. Then we Evolute summon the monster in the main monster zone where a Firewall Dragon points to. So that's pretty much it for the summon, and let's move to the next part of what's an Evolute monster. Now we saw how Evolute summon works, and we will see what's an Evolute counter and how it works. An Evolute counter is a special unit similar to how Xyz has overlay unit. It's exclusive to them, and it's already placed in them when they're Evolute summoned, and the number of counters you will have is equal to the stage, which is a marker we will talk about later, equal to the stage of the monster as soon as the Evolute summon is done successfully. So as long as you don't get summoning warning or summoning striked, you're pretty much getting the Evolute marker. Otherwise you won't get anything, and effects that state what it has EC won't activate whatsoever. So the Evolute markers are not visible physically but can be identified by some sort of yellow thing, a yellow orb, or anything that is yellow to identify the counters. So as we speak, what are exactly for? What are the EC exactly for? They are for effects or anything that works with the card effects, and similar to how Xyz monsters have their overlay unit, and we have like the stage here that is usually a marker that is equivalent to rank for an Xyz monster, and similar to Xyz monster they are on the left, not on the right. Usually the counters are over the card, so you know that Evolute monsters have a counter, and the counters are determined by the number of stages which are originally printed on the Evolute monster upon the Evolute summon. It's an equivalent units to ranks which are used to material purposes of other Evolute summon. They determine the number of Evolute counters and control their summoning conditions. So similar to Synchro, you need to exact number of sorry, not Synchro, rituals as well. You need to exactly have the number of levels and ranks together, or other stages if the card specifies otherwise. They usually require 2, the combination of 2 monsters on the field. However, some external cases require 3 or probably 4, depending how overpowered your monster is. As you cannot change their units in the extra deck, you can only have the exact counters equal to the stage. Now we have explained the summon and the counters and what the stage are. It's really simple and generic custom mechanic, and I really recommend you to make one, or at least use one, to easily understand the process of using Evolute based decks, and to be specific, Evolute in general, and how to play around many other things that might hinder you with other summoning mechanics. So let's go to the decks. Well, there are not much Evolute decks here, because when they were first made they didn't get enough focus, and I frankly did not think of make something like a dedicated archetype for them, or at least a deck. I mean, they were all kind of generic, yeah. So this is the first Evolute deck, not really the first, but one of them that focuses on the very early stages of how Evolute was. Like, it was named superpower and stuff, and used to focus on one monster name with another with a different level, but in this case it's entirely different. I mean, not entirely, but let's see here. This is the main material of the Evolute you're trying to summon here, and you have like the other requirement which you need. Level 5 light machine type union monster. I'm sorry, I'm using the old text, but you can see in the screen caption the supposedly new text. So yeah, so this is where you need actually a level 4 Esper Gear Wizard and level 5 light machine type union master. And frankly, this deck, this Esper Gear deck, works like a charm for something called an early stage of an Evolute monster. Yeah, this is an example demonstrates how Evolute monsters were and how they were working in their initial release and stuff like that. So let's move to the next Evolute deck called Paintress. I know I made a video before about them, but they used to be a synchro archetype, and since the synchro didn't work with them at all, they were all ported to Evolute, minus there are some tuners left, and this tuner was like a normal monster version of Dante. Yeah, it was never nerfed whatsoever because it's a level 1 tuner, and until Konami finally made Hello or something. I think yeah, hello wherever. Anyways, let's continue. So this is the entire deck of Paintress, initially made by this is a build made by Never This Again. Yeah, and this is a very optimal deck of what you should use for it. I mean, okay, this is entirely made for Master Rule 3. Yeah, so this also uses an old format of Evolute because I haven't entirely edited the card database, and they haven't been like gone into the balance team and quality control yet because of the new system. So this is a typical generic Evolute type. Let's take this example. Level 2 light normal monster, level 3 fairy type normal monster. Usually it would require a rank from an Xyz master like those. However, the only thing that normal monsters don't possess any sort of rank whatsoever, so all of them have levels, with some exceptions, like Paintress Dragon has requires level 2 level and rank 4 non-effect master, and frankly this is another exceptional case of an Evolute monsters use normal monsters as a base. They don't either require attribute or monster type, or at least ranks. Here they lack ranks, and here they lack attribute and monster type, because they made so extremely generic for the sake of them being generic. And this is Fibervine, also like the others, still has an old format of the Evolute, And regardless, we can just take a look at the examples of these Evolute they have, even though they are mainly true in the Waiju Pro. I haven't coded much, so pretty much we have here later, which is, I'm going to say used to be, which used to be a totally generic. Now it requires earth and plant for its Evolute materials, and Carol Impress of Fibervine, and this is the perfect example of how Evolute monsters should be. I mean, level rank earth and level rank for plants. And this is the entire deck based around rituals and Evolutes in the same time. Evolutes. So you can have some Xyz monsters here for the sake of using generic support. Once you consume all of them, you can go to either this or this, depending on how you will not how, sorry, depending on what you will summon. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and you can follow us. If you like this video, hit that with the subscribe button. Also, we have a Discord group, we have Facebook group, we have Deviantart group. All of their links are down below. Also, don't forget to comment down below if you have anything or any deck suggestion or anything to comment on the Evolute Summit, and we'll see you next time.